Hi there, Matt Adams, Account Executive at Abstract. I wanted to take some time to do a quick overview on libraries inside of Abstract and a couple different types and ways that you can use those inside of Abstract. So let's jump right in. Abstract supports Sketch library files as well as XD. This allows teams to use and manage and version control their design systems and libraries, which, as you can imagine, is quite essential for modern design teams. There are 3 different ways to use libraries inside of Abstract. Let's start by reviewing a project library. A project library is simply a library that resides inside of a project. That library is designed to support the work of that project, but can also be shared to other projects. More on that in a bit. As a project library, anyone who's a part of that project is able to view, edit, or build with the components inside. As such, project libraries tend to be best used to support a single project. Here's an example of a project library. The components here support the work of this project. So we have our macOS app, which is actually what I'm using right now, and I'm inside of the files here. We're just looking at the general kind of Sketch library here. It has some of the components that specifically support our macOS app. As I mentioned, these could be used in different places, but for all intents and purposes, they really support our macOS app. The second type of library is a library as a project. This is perhaps the most common type of library in Abstract and lends itself best to design systems. A library as a project allows you to administrate the files more effectively with more control than a project library. First of all, only the members of this project can edit or make changes to the files inside, which helps to protect the integrity of the design system or the library itself. Here is an example of a design system in action. Notice how the library is broken up into atomic-like elements. Breaking up the design system allows it to be more easily shared and consumed. It also helps keep the file size smaller, which ensures library performance. By breaking these up, we also streamline the workflow. So if we only, for instance, need cards, colors, and change sets in a project that we're working on or a branch that we're working on, we only need to pull those elements in here instead of having our entire design system at our fingertips all the time. It just makes things a little bit snappier and more organized. Design system libraries can be easily shared and linked, which leads us into our last type of library. Shared libraries are libraries that live inside of other projects. They can be linked from their home project into the projects that you need to use or reference them in. And as a linked library, they are essentially read-only, which makes them a great use case for times when you just want the library available, but not able to be edited or changed. Here's an example that shows all 3 libraries in action. We have a project library here that supports the components inside of this project. And we also have this linked library that serves as our design system. So we just looked at that just a minute ago. These are the components of our design system that all live inside of this project, which can be consumed here. Design systems are living, breathing libraries and can get quite complex. I wanted to give you a quick overview on a few different approaches to utilizing those libraries inside of Abstract. Thanks again for your time. Let us know if you'd be interested in learning more about Abstract and libraries.